Hey everyone, welcome back to Music Stories. Thanks for being here with me. I want to share a belated birthday tribute to the late, great Elliott Smith. As of making this video, his birthday was just a few weeks ago. Now, before I start, I want to invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos coming your way. Now, on to Elliott Smith, born Stephen Paul Smith in Omaha, Nebraska on August 6, 1969. His father was Gary Smith. His mother was Bunny Berryman. She was a music teacher. His father was studying medicine in Omaha. At the age of 6 months, they separated. His mother moved down to Duncanville, Texas with him and started a new family there. He grew up in Texas. He had step-siblings and a stepfather who unfortunately he did not get along well with. And that upbringing in Duncansville was traumatic and troubled for him. He learned how to play piano at the age of 9, and he learned how to play guitar at 10. At around this time, he wrote his first composition called Fantasy, which he entered in an arts festival contest and won a prize. This was Elliott's first success in music. Later on in his life, at the age of 14, he moved to Portland to live with his father. In Portland, he went to high school. He was in the high school band. He started rock bands with friends and graduated, and then went to Hampshire College in Amherst, Massachusetts, where he formed the band Heat Miser. Now, he was studying philosophy at Hampshire College, and he completed his college and graduated. Heat Miser continued to be a band, and they moved with Elliott back to Oregon, to Portland, where Elliott took on odd jobs to support his music and his life. Heat Miser played around locally in Portland and a little bit around the country. They started to get well known, and they put out 2 albums and an EP before they were signed to Virgin Records. And they put out a 3rd album on Virgin Records. This album, Mike City Sons, was probably his most successful release to date. He continued to play in Heat Miser, while on the side, he was starting a solo career. And that solo career started with the album Roman Candle, which came out in 1994. So Elliott was having a dilemma about his musical direction. He liked playing in the rock band, but his solo music was really his calling. He felt that it was. And this was around the time of grunge and grunge bands and heavy music, and he just it wasn't fashionable to do what he was doing. But he followed his own musical path, and he kept going. His second release was a self-titled album, followed by his probably most successful and most widely known album called Either Or. That came out in 1997. And from that, or maybe even before that, he gained the attention of film director Gus Van Sant, who featured his music in the film Good Will Hunting. That was a huge success for him. The song Between Bars was on that film, and also an instrumental version, and the song which he wrote specifically for the film called Miss Misery. This really propelled him to the biggest heights of fame that he'd ever seen. He was part of the Academy Awards for that year. He was nominated, his song was nominated for an Academy Award. He didn't win, but he made an appearance, and it was definitely something that put him on the map and made him more well-known to more fans and supporters. After that, he signed to DreamWorks Records and put out 2 other albums, XO and Figure 8. These were his last 2 albums, sadly. And after this, he had still continued to tour and record and put out music, but at the age of 34, on October 21st, 2003, he died from a knife wound. It was reported to be a suicide. There's an open question of homicide, but I believe personally that it was most likely a suicide. There was a sticky note recovered somewhere around the scene saying, "I'm sorry, God forgive me." Since his death, Smith has been regarded as one of the most influential artists in indie music, and many artists have mentioned Smith as an influence. Artists such as Frank Ocean, Beck, Phoebe Bridgers, and Danielle Haim of the group Haim. There's a great documentary about his life and his work called Heaven Adores You, which came out in 2014. An excellent way to find out about him and his music and really understand Elliott Smith. Now I'm wondering, I have some stories of my own, and I've just shared one with you. Do you have any stories about Elliott Smith? Have you ever listened to his music? Have you seen him live? Are you a fan? I'd love to hear about that. Share your story in the comments. And I thank you so much for being here with me. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.